Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Rewind. I'm your host, Travis.
Hey, I'm Chris. Yeah.
And we got an awesome show for y'all tonight. Big week. We have San Diego Comic-Con just passed. A lot of good stuff that came out of there. Trailers, tons of trailers, news. Let's get right into it.
Dude, every Comic-Con, I'm like, fuck, I want to go. And then I see the price tag and I go, fuck, thank God I'm not going. And then it's over and I'm like, fuck, I should have went.
Every year, like I say, I want to go. But then I'm like, first of all, they're already sold out by the time I find out about it. And then secondly, I found out the prices. Like, and then I hear from other people it's gone. All it is a waiting game. All you're doing is wait in line for a chance to get a ticket to meet whoever you want to meet or get an exclusive toy or whatever the case may be.
And those people stink.
Yeah, you think it's bad in San Antonio.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Oh, been there, done that.
Yeah. So, real quick, let's get right into it, man. I think you can say out of, Marvel, DC, I think DC won San Diego Comic-Con just with the big reveals.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting. We got trailers, full-blown trailers for both Wonder Woman and Justice League. And
I think the problem with that was Man of Steel. You were like, we'll let that go if the next one's good.
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman.
Why is everybody brooding? Why is everybody sad? Why is everybody mad?
This chocolate cake had shit in it.
Yeah. That wasn't chocolate you're eating. All right.
Fuck.
So, first we get Wonder Woman.
Oh, Gal Gadot.
Oh, perfect. I mean, that looked amazing.
That was one of the bright spots of Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, it was. She had a cameo. You could say that she was kind of forced into that movie. She wasn't really necessary to be in that movie, but it was an introduction cinematically for her.
Yeah.
This movie, you know what this reminded me of? Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yes.
It reminded me of that setting. Obviously, Captain America World War II. This is World War One. Still, you know what I mean. It's just the same throwback feel of the whole origin story.
Yeah.
But man, everything I was seeing, they got the lasso in there. They got Steve Trevor in there.
I bet the invisible jet was somewhere in the trailer. We just probably didn't see it.
You probably were on that. Yeah. We got some Amazons fighting. We got all kinds of stuff in there. It looks amazing. They do have a female director direct the movie, so it all kind of
girl power.
Yeah, and she looks great as Wonder Woman too, by the way. You notice the costume was the same,
but brighter.
Yeah,
clean. Like it was just new. Fresh from the armory. Like it just yeah.
But that was immediately followed up with another trailer for Justice League.
Oh,
mind blown.
Oh, I hear you talk to fish.
This is true. Yes.
Did they just make Aquaman a complete badass in this film?
I think they did. If I was to nitpick on something, it says the contacts. I wasn't expecting it, but I can understand the reasoning behind it. Because if he's in the depths of the ocean, can't see anything down there. You got to have something in your eyes, right? He's got to have, whatever. Anyway, so that was one thing. So we have
hopefully we get a cameo from the Mother of Dragons somewhere, because
Well, we have Khal Drogo underwater, so somewhere there's got to be some kind of connection.
Some naked blonde. I don't care.
Right. But this one, we also saw Cyborg. We saw him in full Cyborg attire. Yeah. Right. He could have looked. I mean, I wasn't too sold on the design of it. It looked kind of cheaply done CGI from somewhere. Anyway, but there was a lot of focus on the Flash.
I think everybody in Comic-Con can relate to the Flash.
I don't know what to go with that, man. Because here's the thing. I'm a big fan of the Flash TV show, and this guy, you could have told me that you took the cast of the Flash show and just imported right into the movie. I would have been okay with that. But they went with a different route. It's a different version of this character. Maybe I'm so set on that. But this guy is playing him as Ezra Miller. I think I want to say his name is.
Sounds right.
He doesn't look like Barry Allen. He doesn't look he doesn't look like he fits in this movie. And maybe that's the road they're going on purpose. Maybe like a Peter Parker-esque vibe with him. But that was a pretty cool scene between him and Ben Affleck back in the movie as Batman.
It's like that. You don't have to tell me. I'm in.
Yeah. And there was some, you could tell there was some like humor there. You could tell they just finally.
There was color.
There's color. There was humor. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on in this trailer. So I think they learned their lesson finally. Thank you, Jeff Johns. We appreciate that.
And a little bit to Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Jeff Johns. Ben Affleck. This is the first actor Batman movie history to play Batman in 3 different movies in the same year. Well, Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman this year, and then next year.
In a 12-month span. Next year would be just.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that stuff for DC coming out.
Dude, I heard Ghost Rider is going to be in the next season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, that was a big rumor for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4 coming out. They are bringing in Ghost Rider. Vengeance. That's the little subheading for subtitle for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this year. I'm looking forward to it. They're doing a newer version of Ghost Rider from the comics. I'm not too familiar with.
Oh, is that the one with the car on fire instead of the bike? I think I have maybe 1 or 2 issues, but it's somewhere.
It's a newer one. Last name is Reyes or something like that. I really don't know the full details of it. I knew of it. I just forgot it.
It's not Johnny Blaze.
No, it's not Johnny Blaze. It's not Danny Ketch. It's a newer version of him. So hopefully they'll get their special effects right.
Or enough. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., TV shows compared to what you see on the big screen from Marvel, it's night and day.
Yeah.
But they do good with what they have. At least from the episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've seen so far from the first 2 seasons.
They also gave us new snippets from the whole Marvel Netflix universe. We got
Luke Cage.
We got a Luke Cage trailer. So if you liked him in Jessica Jones, you get more of that here. And that one scene of him just the car door and everything is going through all those bad guys. Looks pretty cool.
You got to talk about Luke Cage without Iron Fist.
Yeah, that was another trailer we got for Iron Fist. I know
Danny Rand's been through some shit.
I'm sure our boy Aaron from Awesome AG Designs, he really appreciated that.
Oh yeah.
We got Daredevil season 3, a quick tease on that. So I think we all knew that was gonna be happening. So.
And then the tease for Defenders.
Dude,
that was the one with the slowed down "Come As You Are" remix.
Yes.
Right? Oh,
they had me right there because I knew Defenders was coming, but then when you start peeling back the layers, and then you got that song playing, I was like, oh god,
when
yeah, right, you got me. Take my money. Oh, already owned. Oh, whatever. Okay.
I think you know what? I think once they haven't announced a release date for the Defenders, that's when I'm probably gonna sign up for Netflix. Finally, I'm gonna binge everything Marvel in like a month. Like right now, I'm like halfway through season 5 of Game of Thrones, and I've been binging for like a month and a half just to like have it out of the way. I think that's what I'm gonna do finally with Amazon.
There's another thing from Warner Brothers, Kong Skull Island. That looks pretty cool if you're a King Kong fan. But this is this had the vibe of Godzilla from a couple years ago. It was kind of like they're kind of teasing you with what he's going to look like. He's a lot larger because, again, Aaron from also maybe I was talking to him about this, and he was saying this is going to be a tied-in universe.
So, so eventually we're getting Kong against Godzilla.
That's going to be like apparently the next movie is into. And
with like a Jaeger from Pacific Rim,
right,
just like
because King Kong is not nearly as big as Godzilla, so they're amping him up to make it one-on-one to make it a more viable fight. So that's gonna be cool. I'm really digging that.
Does he wear a necktie with DK on it?
That's in the sequel.
Yeah, gotcha.
No, excuse me. That's in the straight-to-TV sci-fi version of it. That's what that is. One last thing here that I saw was there was a movie trailer that was supposed to be unveiled. It was for a movie called The Woods.
I heard about this.
And we didn't know anything about it, and then they finally revealed it, and it is now Blair Witch. The secret is like nobody knew this was coming, and it's what's going on? What is this? What are you doing?
Hold on.
You got turn the ringer on, man.
Yellow. Huh?
We're doing a show here, man.
Hey, Abel? Yeah. Oh.
What's the problem?
Dude, today's Wednesday.
Right, Pop Culture Rewind. No. He's still yelling. Why is he?
Bye.
What's going on, man? We're trying to do an episode of Pop Culture Rewind.
We're supposed to do the wrestling talk tonight, man. Houston Wrestling Radio. Remember that other show?
Oh, that's right. Oh,
I knew
damn!
something was off without Abel here.
Because that's our show.
Yeah.
Where's Abel at? He's not here. This is throwing us all off. WWE screwing everything up, making us move to Wednesdays.
Oh, that's probably it. Yeah, Abel probably forgot. He probably showed up yesterday and you didn't answer. And
well, he lets himself in, but
oh yeah, that's right.
And I told him to get
He
the hell
probably
out.
found the extra key under your car.
I told him to get the hell out because it's not our right to do the podcast. I guess he got his feelings hurt. And he called me while I guess because we're on the air live right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, shit. What do you want to do?
It's a little embarrassing, honestly. Jeez, that was like 10 minutes of our time wasted on.
Well, shit, I was having fun doing this.
Yeah,
anyway.
it was. You know,
Yeah.
Maybe we should continue this on Pop Culture Rewind.
You know what? Yeah, probably.
You know, because I have a YouTube channel on that too.
Oh, really?
You just do a search for Pop Culture Rewind on YouTube. Yeah. Or you can just go to the website, popculturerewind.com. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just, new episode just came out about a week and a half ago. So.
Oh, yeah. I finally heard it.
Yeah.
The top 10 soundtracks. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So, Xavier doesn't like me. All right. Eat a dick already.
So,
other than that, it was solid listening from start to finish.
Yeah. So,
fucking hypocrite. Laura's Last Action Hero.
Listen to the episode to find out.
There you go.
So,
that's what we call it. Tea.
So, like I said, this is kind of embarrassing. So, do we just do an intro, start over? Or?
Shit,
how mad was he? Anyways, I can hear from here yelling at you.
I don't know. We have to have a presence of him on here somehow. So that's a picture of him eating a microphone, pretending it was something else. And we're going to have him there for a while. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so.
There you go, Papa Grande.
Yeah. Okay, so
I guess we should try the wrestling stuff.
Yeah, what the hell? Why not?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you're flipping the handle. Okay, so now I know it's.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Houston Wrestling Radio.
Episode 193.
Yeah. This is Travis.
This is Chris.
And Abel.
That's what's left of Abel.
Abel's not here. Yeah, he. That's how you solve that problem right there.
Yeah.
All right, so. How you doing, Chris?
Another day in paradise.
All right.
Yeah, hanging in there, can't complain.
Yeah. Hopefully our listeners won't complain about that.
Oh, hey, by the way, there's Porsche over there.
Hi.
I spilled the nectar of the gods on Travis's table, and Travis is giving
your tablet.
Yeah, but can't waste the Coke and cat hair. Oh wait, cat hair.
Forget the Coke.
The shit that happens when Abel's not here. God, I'm gonna put Abel on the eat a dick list.
He's already on the list. He's on it right now. Actually, that's why he's not here.
Oh, that explains everything.
All right, so
let's try this again.
If
we're gonna talk wrestling,
if we can be serious for a moment, yes. Big week in wrestling.
Was it
last week? We was the big draft show. You know, we
man.
We did the roster splits for Raw and SmackDown. We're kind of doing a reboot, you know, for WWE right now. I guess. I don't know if you want to say that.
There's a lot of change.
There's a lot of change.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about Raw. We're gonna talk about SmackDown. We're gonna get into also talk about a little bit the Battleground results. But before we get into all that, let's kind of want to go maybe chronologically. We're gonna go.
We're gonna start with something that we're not gonna talk about.
Oh.
Again, part 3 of Ultima Lucha Dos.
Yes.
Happened last week, and we get fragmented. I wasn't here the first week. It was Abel and Travis talking, and then the second week we just decided to push it because there was a lot of shit going on with the draft. This week, El Jefe ain't here. Yef.
I think it's called Hefe.
Hefe. Oh yeah, he calls it Hefe.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. From what
he's not here this week.
Yeah.
So I think the idea amongst the two of us, and we'll fill it Abel in later, is we'll probably do either we'll just cram it in next week, or we'll do a special edition separate of all 3 episodes of Lucha Underground's finale and bust a nut then.
Yeah. Because unfortunately for Lucha Underground, their big season finale coincides with one of the biggest 2 weeks of WWE in recent years, I would say.
Oh yeah, in a long time.
But like I said before, that's our disclaimer for Lucha Underground, because I know we've been covering it all season long.
Yeah, we're always very flaccid at the end of every Lucha Underground discussion.
Especially Abel. Abel likes to
Which
be
is
flaccid.
why I was trying to drink up the rest of this. So
yeah.
The next week,
we take all
hopefully.
that flaccid. We're just gonna put that in a box over here, and then we're gonna open that up later.
Yeah.
But first, let's knock out the small stuff first.
Cruiserweight Classic.
Before that,
Okay, NXT.
NXT. I want to start off by saying, to me, NXT for this past week's episode, not the one that's on like right now. We're talking about last week. It was very awkward for me to watch because it was after the draft. And it's in the middle of delayed tapings from NXT. So when you have someone like Nia Jax or American Alphas or whoever on that show acting like everything's hunky-dory, when in actuality, they're not even on that show anymore.
Yeah.
You have Corey Graves on commentary. Is he still doing commentary? Is he still on NXT?
All these episodes up to the next takeover, which is Takeover Brooklyn 2, all that's taped. So Corey Graves and Todd Phillips are the commentary team. Right. Once we get to Brooklyn, don't have a damn clue.
And I'm sure it'll be fully defined at that point.
To echo your statement, again, you just rounded off everything that was on the menu this week. I didn't even get to watch Ring of Honor, and I've been trying to tap into that for a bit. TNA's been actually getting better, surprisingly.
I want to mention that real quick. I will eat some humble pie here, and I will give props to TNA.
In what way?
They took their ball and ran when SmackDown came calling, which I don't blame them, honestly. But they went to a new night, and they actually got more viewers on their first night after moving in. Anytime you have an established show and you move time slots, move days,
it always sinks.
You're going to lose viewership, and they actually gain viewers. So think Matt Hardy, think Final Legion, whoever you want to think on that.
Moose.
No.
Antlers or whatever they're
going. Yeah. So anyway, congrats to TNA for being successful in that. But anyway, that's all I want to say about TNA.
G1 Climax is already going on in New Japan, and I wanted to get my feet wet in that. But between coming back from a long road trip, working through the weekend, so I didn't get a weekend off, celebrating Scott and Gabby's wedding. Congratulations, by the way. You still have 27 days so you can annul it for free. And all the wrestling, not only was NXT on the bottom of my list, after seeing the draft already happen, I kind of was fighting to watch the first 40 minutes of it because this was past tense.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I said about the show. Big dummy.
What did you like about NXT?
I'm trying to remember because it was the first thing on this list that we're talking about. Some other big things that happened this week. And I do remember the main event was Nia Jax versus Bayley, right?
Part 3.
And
I didn't watch.
I actually enjoyed the match. She was decent. It made Nia look good. I mean, I believe I want to say she got the win on Bayley.
Bayley got the win.
Bayley got the win. Okay. See,
yeah.
I'm
basically my premonition with all this NXT stuff. What happens with NXT? Anybody that moves anywhere, they're doing the job before they leave.
Right.
So Nia Jax did the job for Bayley. American Alphas did the job for Authors of Pain, which I loved that match. That's actually a match of the week candidate for me. Every single person in that
okay.
Dude, Ellering just sitting there stoic, just looking without a panic in the world, even when Authors weren't winning. Those guys are fucking beasts.
But here's my thing about Authors of Pain, dude. Like, I get that in their first debut, they try to get a word from Ellering, and he's like, in due time, or whatever he said. Like, how much fucking time do you need, man? Tell us what you're doing. Like, I'm
clobbering time.
I'm sure. Give me that. Give me something. I just want to know what the hell's going on. Like, what's your? I mean, you finally have a match with American Alpha, and then they leave.
Yeah.
So now what? Like, who's the other face tag team?
The Mighty 61. Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano.
They're going up for Revival because they did a backstage promo with them. That's it, right?
Ooh, how'd you mention? Well, I can't. The only thing is they're building stuff up to this pay-per-view where people that have been drafted for example, American
They're
Alphas,
they're mid-build. They're mid-build.
So there's like we're still gonna see American Alphas at Takeover while they're already on the brand on Raw.
So just because we saw Nia lose and Alphas lose and all that, that doesn't mean that they're off the following tapings. They're still going to be on these tapings.
Maybe.
See, that's man. I said this from
timing.
I said this from I think WrestleMania, dude.
NXT needs to be live every other week at least to keep.
Man, this is ridiculous. I mean, a month's worth of tapings. Come on.
That to an extent, that's one of the main reasons why I fell off from Ring of Honor a little bit because, for example, their tapings are a month behind.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Ring of Honor, as I'm saying right now with NXT. If there's an event or a pay-per-view special event on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, their first episode when they come back, I want to see their heavyweight champion there. If they have a women's champion, I want to see their women's champion there, and I want to see immediate build, not waiting 2 weeks or even a month later for specials or backlog episodes that are in the can to see what the hell happened. We don't want to. Sometimes a 30-second promo backstage isn't going to cut it when you're Samoa Joe and you're having the title. Like I want to see that mofo like the next day. So when you're having your taping schedule set up like this, and this is before you throw in one of the biggest things in WWE product for a while, which was the draft. That's just that's not just a monkey wrench. That's like a steamroller going right over your entire product.
Yeah,
you know,
when you already have a delayed product, a month old, and you can view the results anywhere you want.
Yeah, the reaction we had watching on Porsche's tablet Moose on Ring of Honor when he just debuted on TNA.
Right.
And the same instance when you've got stuff on NXT, which it kind of isn't as important because it was taped 3 weeks ago, and you've already got shit that's happened since then.
Right.
So
we have participants that aren't even in the freaking company.
Yeah.
Being a part of an angle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's things like that. The whole taping thing. That's what it is. But let's move on because
something that I found very promising.
Yes.
The Austin Aries No Way Jose segment.
Okay, remind me what happened on this one. Because Austin was
Patrick Clark, the last guy from Tough Enough that won the Human American flag.
Right. Yeah.
Got his ass beat the fuck up by A-Double.
Yeah, he did.
And then No Way Jose, no music, no dancing, no hubbub. He just walked in there and beat the living fuck out of Aries to the point where he left. And you know, we've had the promos before where I'm here to dance, I'm here to have fun, I'm here to have a good time in NXT, but I can also be serious. This entire time, we've never seen him be serious until now. Now it's kind of like, all right, this guy's not a complete joke. I can actually.
But see, here's the thing.
I can give him a little bit of doubt.
I get what you're saying on that. I appreciate it. The only thing is,
it's on Aries and
his name is No Way Jose. Like I can't take you seriously, man. Change your fucking name. This isn't TNA.
What'd you think about the opening match with Joe and Rhino?
Who won that match? Oh yeah, he tapped out, right?
Oh yeah,
Rhino tapped out. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing he wasn't going to be there very long.
Well, that's another example. Rhino did the job because he was leaving. Is that it in a nutshell for NXT? Because that's basically what this episode meant.
It felt like me watching NXT was like it felt like an afterthought for me. But what was an afterthought was the show right after that, Cruiserweight Classic. I'm digging this show. Week 2 is in the can. Week 2 was just as good as week 1.
Yeah.
What are these matches? Let's get into this.
Man, right off the bat, before I pull up all these names, because the first match has to deal with this guy. For the first episode, there were a lot of guys that I didn't know and some that I knew of, but not new. It was very refreshing to see Tajiri on my television again.
Yeah.
This shit-eating green that I had right now, I had the entire time watching Tajiri wrestle, and he's not idling at 7,000 RPMs. He's got a definite cruise control after all the years he's been, but still. No botches, no fuck-ups. It looked like the same Tajiri I saw 10 years ago. The dude can still hang. How far he can hang or how long, I don't know. But, hey,
he can hang around for Tarantula.
Yeah.
Damn sure. No, what was
Damian Slater.
Yeah.
Against Tajiri was the first match. Loved it.
Yeah, that was fun. That was an awesome match. I want to say one thing about Tajiri. For what it's worth, week 2 of Daniel Bryan being on commentary, he did an awesome job, along with Mauro, putting over Tajiri. As he's a veteran, he's 46 years old, and he's still dangerous. Daniel Bryan put him over as being dangerous. that's something that if he wasn't saying that stuff, I wouldn't have that in my mindset.
Dude, I want to see a Tommy against Tajiri in a straight up kickboxing match, and I could still I'd still put money down on Tajiri. Oh my God. I'm so happy to see him back.
Yeah.
If WWE better have enough sense. If they're going to bring back this cruiserweight division, he needs to be on there, because there has to be WWE established guys that can put guys over in this division. And Tajiri, even if fucking give him another run with it, I don't care. It was fun.
Yeah. But he fought a Damian Slater.
Damian Slater. Yeah.
Well, that's why they fired Damian Sandow. You can't have two Damians on the show, right? It's ridiculous.
I have a match that's like this close to being my match of the week pick, and it's TJ Perkins, our friend Suiciding,
the original Suicide
against the Urban German, Dumac.
Not BMAC.
Not BMAC. Dumac.
Yeah. Oh. Talk about style for both these guys. This is the most stylish match I think I've ever seen. But TJ Perkins, man, he's been like almost like a hidden gem within TNA. Like, I guess because no one watches TNA, so you don't know about him. But like, we've seen him. We know who he is.
He is very competent, and he is at least a decent to above decent, maybe even great X Division wrestler. For the character that he has as Suicide, a masked wrestler. And then whatever they were giving him when he was doing the Revolution thing with Abyss and James Storm. The smartest thing anybody's ever done for his career in pro wrestling is taking his mask off and show that the guy is a clean-shaven guy that little girls can go, over.
He's marketable.
He's marketable. He's presentable. And, dude, he has some career. He, like, as much as I gush over Angelico and Jack Evans and Johnny Mundo and PJ Black and Lucha Underground for their charisma level, dude, this kid's up there. Might even surpass it.
Yeah.
And this is just one episode that we've seen of him in this match.
Well, some of those guys you just mentioned, they're smartasses. That isn't necessarily charisma.
Anybody on the road that does a dab, not a dubstep. Sorry, Daniel, not a dubstep. A dab. You're an asshole. Unless you like Panda from Designer, then you're all right.
To be fair, Daniel Bryan did call himself out on.
Yeah, he's like, is that what the kids call it now? I was like, dude, just because you're the height of the kid does not mean you know what's going on.
But yeah, I didn't know much about Dumac, but I was more focused on watching TJ Perkins because I've always been impressed with him. But this was going to be a whole other level of him, and Dumac kept up with him, and he was showing off just as much, if not more, than what Perkins was doing. TJ
Perkins, as a person, bringing himself out as himself, is very marketable. What WWE also needs are wrestlers or athletes that can play great characters. Dumac is a great character.
He is a character.
Moonwalking on the apron to the ring, the clapping into the kicks that he did when he had TJ Perkins down. I know it might be a hard sell because you've already pushed Shinsuke Nakamura as being a big fan of Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
But he's on NXT, and I doubt he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. If you're going to have Dumac on the first hour of Raw, do it. Those two guys together, put them with anybody. It was.
There's potential.
There's a lot of potential there. So far in these two weeks of Cruiserweight Classic, dude, fuck it, man. Throw up 32 guys there. The next match was my other one because I was like, dude, this is the second match of the night. It can't get any better. Lince Dorado against Mustafa Ali.
Yes.
Talk about out of nowhere. I was not expecting this.
Like, I didn't know. I've never heard of these guys.
Yeah.
And I don't know what. Go ahead. What'd you think?
Grappler against Lucha Libre guy. Little descriptions. I had a huge smile on my face watching Perkins and Dumac. I had vibes of the first time that I saw Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero from Halloween Havoc 97 in the sense that I was not expecting what I ended up getting.
From these guys.
From Mustafa Ali and Lince Dorado. There's something there. I watched both of these matches like 3 or 4 times because I was like, oh my God, there's something about these matches that have replayability, watchability.
Right.
And it's again, that goes back to what these wrestlers can do as athletes and what their characters or personas are perceived as. Lince Dorado, again, the same thing with masked wrestlers. It's hard to get emotion out of them when they're wearing masks all the time. But regardless, dude, their selling was really good. Their high spots were awesome. There was enough false finishes where it didn't like wear me out. But there wasn't less of it where I was like, oh man, it could have just been like 5 more minutes. Like this was a perfect time, perfect space, perfect everything in that match.
All these matches have been like that.
Yeah.
And to that point, good thing to point out. I don't think we mentioned this last week, but all these matches, there's time limits.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
So you can't. Yeah, so you can't, mess around too long. So.
What did you think once the match was over?
I think I enjoyed it. I think I'm with you. Like I didn't know what to expect out of him. That what was his name? Mustafa Ali. Yeah. I think towards the end I was getting impressed with him. He did a reverse 450 splash. I was hoping he landed that because that was pretty.
Seamless, dude.
Shame he splatted on the mat. But it was good. I mean, you covered it pretty good on that one. So
the last match, what did you think of Akira Tozawa against Kenneth Johnson?
Again, coming out of nowhere, like Kenneth Johnson. Like I want to say he looked familiar, like we've seen him before.
I think Abel mentioned this to us that he wrestled once at NWA Houston.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Wesley Wu or someone that did that Blanca roll. I don't know if you were there when.
Okay, I don't know, but something about him felt familiar. Yeah. But I saw him, I was like, I don't know, but and then
Ronaldo and Brian like put over Dragon Gate, like they were paid to put over Dragon Gate during that commentary.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean,
Tozawa?
Yeah, Tozawa.
Yeah. He's a character right there. Like that's the first time I think I've heard the name, but I've never seen him wrestle. And so I was kind of paying attention to him to seeing what he can do.
It's funny that when we watched wrestling back in the day, like Taka Michinoku, Kenzo Suzuki, all these Japanese guys that they brought in, they were just made as like an import joke. Yeah. Like even though they had skill or seriousness, they played down on the seriousness and just turned up on the humor. Akira Tozawa was a freaking idiot in the ring with his personality, laughing at everything and screaming, and apparently enough fans knew to scream along when they knew to scream along. Yeah. But he beat the shit out of Kenneth Johnson. Just like Tajiri in this match beat the shit out of his dude. Right. And just like Shinsuke Nakamura is beating the shit out of everybody in NXT.
Well, I think Morrow, I can't remember which one but they said there was 3 people representing Japan in this tournament. So
Akira and
last week,
and then
Ibushi,
and I forget the last guy.
Tajiri.
I said Tajiri, Ibushi, and this guy. Yeah, there you go. The caffeine isn't kicking in yet, or the cat hair. Dude, another solid episode, man.
This is by far the most anticipated show for me week to week so far. Yeah. I mean, they haven't let me down. It's only 2 weeks in, but goddamn, it's
next week. Zack Sabre Jr.
Yes.
Finally, I get to watch a complete match of this guy because I didn't want to ruin it. I've had friends and colleagues, guys from Renegade Wrestling Radio, Andrew. They're telling us, dude, you need to watch Zack Sabre. You need to watch Zack Sabre. And I'm not gonna shitty ass 280p quality on YouTube or all these like torrents and shit. Finally, I'm gonna watch a legit match. Zack Sabre Jr. And the opponent is gonna be qualified because he's in the fucking tournament. So of course it's gonna be a good match. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, and then also we have the Brian Kendrick.
And they announced him as the Brian Kendrick.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, on the bracketology story episode, like his story of his, I guess, redemption and
the survivor of the apocalypse, or what
something like that. Moniker? But the fact that he's I think that's what they're calling him. But but his character, coming back from all these years to redeem himself and go on top.
I'm guessing in that promo they didn't show the Brian Kendrick training Eva Marie in part of his coming back. Just making sure you don't want to turn him heel that fast.
Yeah. But we'll get to Eva Marie later. All right. So
dude, that's it for the Cruiserweight Classic, man. That's it. NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic's done. So now it's time for the big show.
Battleground. This was the last pre-post show, I guess, right? In a nutshell.
Yeah.
So
the transition show.
Yeah, it was as NXT would say, it was the end of the beginning and the beginning of the end. The end of the beginning.
It was there. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. All right, so
right off the bat, Randy Orton talks shit about Brock Lesnar. Go.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody's talking about. I'm enjoying this version of Randy Orton because he's being himself and he's not being a character. Like he's going out there being himself. He's not trying to be all stoic and everything.
He's not hissing.
Yeah. But right now he's just being himself. Like he's being Randy Orton. He's going out there cutting, getting on, cutting promo and stuff. You could tell he's having fun with it, but not silly fun.
Well, he's already got 2 strikes at this point. Fucking go balls to the wall.
I think so. I think at this point in his career, like he knows he doesn't have anything else to prove. I mean, he's already been world. Like, where else can you go once you've been that many time champion?
Part time. I hear there's a couple perks to being part time.
We'll get to that too. But yeah, the whole first of all, before the big, I guess the line that he said, Jericho was giving him some heat, about I can't remember how it came up, but then he said that it's not like he's. What did he say about Fandango?
Oh, Randy Orton's like, yeah, well, when I want to come back, I want to come back and make a big statement. I go for the biggest dog in the yard. I'm not gonna come back and face Fandango.
And at first, I was thinking, damn, that's a hot shot of Fandango. But then I was like, oh wait, no.
Oh, Jericho came back and lost to Fandango.
He lost to Fandango one
at WrestleMania.
That was
dancing with all the dancers.
That was what we call a smart burn right there. Yeah. Think about that.
When it takes a while.
Yeah.
It's like tequila. It'll get you later.
And then he followed that one up.
Oh fuck! With the burn.
Yeah,
with like the Sanders burn.
With basically Jericho just saying you're going to Suplex City, and then Orton was like,
oh no, Viperville. I'm gonna punch anybody that's wearing a Viperville shirt. I'm sorry, that's stupid.
I'm not even worried about that because he saved it right after that when he said you only need 1 RKO from Viperville. No enhancements needed.
Nope.
Like
bam. And he literally did that. Yeah. His arm out went, bloop. Yep.
Oh man, he owned it at that point, man. That was it.
And then like the pump faking on the RKO, like, all right, I'm digging this guy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm digging Orton now, man. This is it's a new version of him a little bit. It's like a little tweaked version of him just being more of himself, I guess.
He's gonna die at SummerSlam. Huh?
We'll get there. Yeah. But we just mentioned it. He's going to fight Brock Lesnar.
Part-timer. Brock Lesnar, part-timer.
At SummerSlam, right? So we have the Beast versus the Viper at SummerSlam. There was some news that came out. If you're on the internet, whatever, for the past 2 weeks, you've heard all the news reports coming out that he's failing all these drug tests from UFC.
In the last minute. What a ditz.
Yeah, I mean, we're calling foul on that. Like,
something's up.
Something can't be right. And I think he said he was going to fight.
Yeah,
he's gonna get to the bottom of it.
He's gonna appeal it or something.
But in the meantime, I think the whole victory is tainted right now. That's the only thing that people are talking about is him not passing the drug test. Well, I guess WWE's been getting asked questions. Is there gonna be repercussions because he failed this USADA, whatever it's called?
Yeah, USADA. United States Anti-Doping Administration.
Yeah. So WWE finally made a statement yesterday or today or whatever.
What did they tell him?
I thought they're ribbing us. I thought it was a joke.
You're waiting for the swerve logo to pop up.
Gotcha, bitch. You've been swerved. No, they said that Lesnar is a part-time performer, and the wellness policy does not apply to part-time performers.
Good fuck. Wow.
I bet Randy Orton's thinking, man, I should have come back as a part-timer. No, but seriously, it's one of those things where it's kind of a slap in the face of all your full-time performers who are there week in, week out, and they take something over the counter that might trigger something for their wellness policy. They're suspended or get fined or whatever. Lesnar can dope up all he wants.
It's weird. Not to fast forward, but just to bring this up. Roman Reigns comes back from his suspension. He loses clean to Dean Ambrose. Shows up the next night on Raw. Gets his ass chewed out by Stephanie McMahon in public in front of everyone live on television. And then jobs clean to Finn Balor to win the main event. And not one of those things did what the chick from WWE did by announcing the thing of Brock Lesnar. I actually got sympathy for Roman Reigns from hearing the marketing chick say that the rules do not apply to Brock Lesnar. I kind of felt bad for Roman. The one thing booking couldn't do, this chick did.
Fuck that guy. No. So, all right. So that was one thing. That wasn't even a match on the card, man. That was just a segment. That was just a segment. I want to talk about what I think was probably the match of the night. We're gonna talk about Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
Match that we candidate too.
It might be my pick, actually.
Oh,
that was a damn good match.
That's when you crank up the storytelling to 10 before the match even starts, and just letting them fucking go.
Which you knew they could. You knew that wasn't going to be a problem.
Yeah, but it's. I don't know. I might have said this once or twice, but this is the epitome of a Ring of Honor main event between Kevin Steen and El Generico.
Yeah,
that's what that was. This didn't feel like there was anything WWE about it. Right down to Sami Zayn's, whatever you want to call, botch to sell like the neck and shoulder injury on that springboard flip that he like completely wiped out on like Hawaii 5-0.
That was scary, man. Oh
yeah, they got us.
Yeah. Well, you don't think that was a real botch? You think he did that on purpose?
I think he did that on purpose.
Why would you botch on purpose?
To sell a neck and shoulder injury, unless you're really dead.
There's a better way of doing it, I would think. But, I'm not a wrestler, so I don't know. But I love the fact that they were able to counter each other's moves.
They've wrestled enough that there should be that I was expecting counter city there.
We even said, like I said, you saw like when he was setting up for the diving through the turnbuckle DDT, I said, Owens better counter that shit.
Yeah.
What did he do? Kick him in the face. And then he was laying there, and he goes in the ring and does his little twirling thing, smash his head.
Oh my God! Fat man cannonball, and Sami Zayn's head like bounced off the ring post. Ding. Oh, sweet Lucifer! Yeah, and he still survived that.
Yeah.
There was enough in that match where I even think halfway through it, I was like, "Fuck, Owens might still win this." Like stories like this, when it's the last time until the next time, you would think the face is gonna go over. Even when they're both drafted to the same brand. But halfway through, I was like, fuck, Owens is going to kill this guy, and I'm going to love him for it. Owens lost. But fuck, I still love the guy for it. That was awesome.
Yeah, you can tell, and I think I said this before, you can tell anytime they're in the ring together, they've known each other for years. You can tell they're best friends, going back and forth. The chemistry is just off the charts with them two. So I don't blame WWE for like dragging this thing out, but I just hopefully they can separate and come back later.
Not to jump the gun, I see a feud with the club bringing these two together as a team. The club actually like just running roughshod on people, and they beat up on Sami Zayn enough that for some reason Kevin Owens is the one to save him when nobody else will. And they'll beat up on Kevin Owens enough that no one else gives a shit about this guy except Sami Zayn, and we're going to get a reunion of sorts.
Here's the thing about Kevin Owens. I don't ever see him as a face. I see him as a tweener, to where the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and I think that's the only way he's going to be able to side up with another face.
Yeah. Whether
it's Sami Zayn or anybody.
Yeah.
I don't want him to
see how he gets along just with heels in the same team.
That's like
he's like the one-man army that needs a
dude. Like 2 weeks ago when he was backstage with Jericho about the scarf, he stole Jericho's scarf.
Oh, that chinchilla!
Yeah,
bang!
Yeah, that was gold, man. And like, so he can play off heels and faces.
Yeah,
I just don't want him I don't want to see him personally as a face.
As a full-blown, yay! I have different color shirts. I want to make money. Kind of have a kid.
All right. So that was a highlight.
How about the beginning of the show? It was obvious.
And you know what? I'm glad they didn't hold that off to like end of the show. Like, what's the big surprise? They cut it loose at the very start.
My biggest selling point that I'm very happy of is the commentary team hammering it home. This is one night only.
Yeah.
Don't bust that nut just yet. You're gonna have to subscribe for $9.99 and watch it on NXT because she's fighting Asuka for the title, which they even put over that Bailey's is on the way to fight a title match with Asuka.
Right. And Bailey, Bailey was the surprise partner for Sasha. Big shock there. At first, I was kind of disappointed because I thought that was her when she first came out. I was thinking, okay, she's on the Raw roster now.
She's picked
and I was getting upset because she was starting to overshadow Sasha.
That was my biggest worry last week. It's like, you're trying to do this thing with Sasha and it's not there yet. It's not baked yet. You're going to bring Bailey in. She's going to steal everybody's thunder.
And she did at the start, in that first intro. But fortunately, They remembered that this is just the one and only. Sasha's the one that needs to get everything.
Sasha Charlotte is what's bringing home the bacon, and the match ended with Sasha tapping Charlotte out, and that's what had to happen.
Yes.
Or Dana, but Sasha had to be the one involved with the win.
The whole thing was booked perfectly.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't change anything on that. One thing, we're talking about a couple of highs. Let's talk about a low. I want to talk about Miz, Darren Young. I want to. Nothing about the match per se was bad. They both did their parts well. It was the end of the match. When you start involving outside interference with Maurice and Bob Backlund, I don't know what really happened. They're like, what was supposed to happen?
Backlund should have just took his shirt off. Like the whole front shirt was like hanging in his suspenders, and the whole back was just out there, and he didn't get like a full body tan.
Like,
and he's not even talking full English to begin with, so he just looks like somebody from the Springfield retirement home.
Like he literally, he looked like just a crazy old man. Like because whenever he got pushed by Miz.
Like, did you ever watch Hobo with a Shotgun?
Yes.
That was Backlund right there. Done.
I'm surprised. Okay. All right. That's what it takes to get you to watch movies. Hobos and shotguns. All right.
Yeah.
But man, that was just such a weird, awkward ending. I think Darren got a pin. He got a count out victory.
He got a count out victory because he had the crossface chicken wing on Darren Young on the Miz and didn't let it go. And then Darren Young's looking at his hands like, I can feel the hate flow through me.
Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing about that. This was the end of the brand split. You can't do anything else with him, with the Miz. Like he lost. Like he won, but it was by shenanigans, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And we can't follow that. He can't get the receipt.
Come up in.
Yeah, you can't finish that story unless you start going after the U.S. title. But I don't know. Something about it was weird. Then we have the other title match, a U.S. title.
Rusev against Zack Ryder.
What do you think of his attire? It took us a second to figure it out. But
it was a cross between Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Sting.
WCW Sting from the 90s.
The jacket with the little thingies hanging down here.
Yeah. I thought it was Macho Man. But
yeah, the Macho Man was the glasses.
Yeah.
And Ultimate Warrior was the armbands?
That's right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It was armbands.
Okay.
Whatever. He still lost. It still sucks.
Yeah. A B for effort, I guess.
You know, someone pointed out on Facebook. I was reading that. Keep in mind while you're watching this match,
they're in Washington.
That too. He jobbed out to Rusev easily on several episodes of Raw and SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
So this match
shouldn't have gone as long as it did.
Shouldn't even happen, honestly. But anyway, that's the second one. But okay, let's get to the end of the match. He did tap out.
He fought it, and then we're like, fuck, Rusev, wrench on that motherfucker. Sure enough, he did. And
I saw like Zack Ryder starting to get out of the thing. I was like, oh, get the fuck out. But fortunately, he pulled back and he tapped out. Now, let's talk about what happened after. We have the main roster debut of Mojo
Rawley. Mojo Rawley. He don't get hype. He stays hype.
What'd you say on your Facebook thing? Hyper? He doesn't
get hyper. He stays hyper. Yeah.
They botched that stuff up so bad. You have this dude run to the ring, get in the face of the bad guy, and he stands there.
Doesn't hit him.
Dude, run in there and just double takedown, start pounding his face in. I mean, just do something. You punked yourself out. That's what you did. And then Rusev standing there like, what the fuck, dude? And then he walks away. Like
you talk about a match that needs to be 4 minutes long and have the Rusev's opponent die.
And here's the other biggest mind shock of all this thing. It's like, what was the point of that? Because you can't follow that up because of the brand split.
Yeah.
Him and Ryder are on SmackDown and Rusev's on Raw.
Yep.
That was totally pointless. And it's not like they followed up him and Ryder being a thing on SmackDown. We'll get to that later because of the way he was formatted. But this is a total WTF moment.
It feels like Battleground was half the new generation and half throwaway show because a lot of stuff was just cut right there, and there's not going to be a follow up. And if there is, people aren't going to remember it or not going to want to.
Okay, speaking of things you can't follow up, how about you have the Club versus John Cena and
Cass and Enzo.
Now, I think the real star of this whole thing was that pre-match promo by Enzo. Not by anybody else, just by Enzo. He owned that ring on that mic. That was some brilliant stuff.
If he was a Jehovah's Witness, he wouldn't have war.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Enzo in a nutshell. Like, he could talk his way out of a paper bag with his eyes closed. Smack talker Skywalker. Damn.
How you doing?
It's funny because you've had to worry for a while is that whole can't teach that intro is going to get older than like a week old.
It is going to.
But everything, once that initial cliche thing ends, dude, he can keep that up for fucking years. That shit was awesome.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was
Cena even was like,
I was like,
he was selling all that shit like $1 million.
There was that. It was also when he like cast Belknap and Enzo started running around him and he like ran into Cena. He's like, oh, Cena. Like Cena played off very well against Enzo. So and the fact that Cena's like so white bread, he doesn't even know what half the stuff that Enzo was saying. It's like me. It's like I wouldn't know what else going on.
His middle name's Wonder.
It is actually.
Shocker that Cass and Enzo and Cena went over the cliff.
No. I don't know if I'm happy that AJ took the pinfall from Cena of all people, but whatever. I mean, it was still enjoyable, but man, you blew your load with that promo.
Like, the match was hard to follow after the promo, basically. Do you have an opinion at all over the New Day and the Wyatt match? That's another instance where, well, what the fuck can you do? They're split. So
we were kind of concerned about that because they're still doing the whole Xavier Woods being scared of him thing. But fortunately, he like snapped out of her or whatever, and he was coming back
and still got whooped.
And I like it, and I like that Bray
is still on Raw with the New Day. No, Bray's on SmackDown. That's
yeah. No, I like that. I think he pinned Kofi, right?
No, he pinned Xavier.
Did he pin Xavier?
Xavier was gonna do his little rolling combo and got scared. And caught him.
Yeah. But I liked all that. I liked the ending of it because it made Bray look strong.
Mm-hmm.
New Day could take the loss and be okay.
Yeah, serial. They'll give a fuck.
Yeah. So and it ends that feud.
Mm-hmm.
So I that was again another well booked segment match. So that's
get to the end. Triple threat.
Main event time. Man. Again, bringing in Roman Reigns.
Wait.
That's fun.
Before we start, tell the viewers, was I true to my word?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's – okay, so full disclaimer, Cruz is over here watching it with me, and they're doing the little backstage stuff and everything leading up to the match. He's like, all right, see ya. And he starts putting on his shoes and everything. It's like, what, you're leaving right now? He's like, yeah, I'm going to watch the intros. I'm going to hear the boos, and then I'm going to leave. I was like, you sure, man? Because, I mean, it's right here. And he's like, no, piss off. And he just, like, walked out. So I thought you were mad at me.
As soon as the bell rang, I went home.
Yeah.
You were giving me updates on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to slam my door. I mean, I didn't appreciate that.
I'll get you a new one.
Kind of being a dick.
You've known me for how long?
Too long.
But, yeah, Ambrose went over clean on Roman.
Yeah. Surprise, he still got heat. And that's the only thing I can think of because I mean, I was thinking it was either going to be Dean retaining or Seth winning. Yeah. I knew Roman wasn't going to win. There's no way they were going to put the belt on him after everything.
A part of me thought that WWE is stupid enough and stubborn enough to die by their own sword and give it to Roman. I honestly thought so. Yeah,
but I was thinking the same thing at one point, man. There's two of the guys in there that deserve it more than this guy. So, what do you think of Dean actually retaining and bringing the title over to SmackDown?
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Assuming Raw would have had the WWE World Title, they would have the WWE World Title, the
U.S. title,
the women's title. I think the tag titles are there. And come September, when this Cruiserweight Classic's over, they're going to have the Cruiserweight title. 5 belts.
Mm-hmm.
And SmackDown, other than the Intercontinental title, what do they have of prestige to make that brand relevant? They have to have the title that's been around since 1960-something. Yeah. They have to be the one that have it.
Right.
And to Raw's credit, unless you want to talk more about Battleground.
No, we can go ahead and flip that page over to Raw.
To Raw,
the new started the new era and everything.
To Raw's credit, they would have done themselves a disservice by bringing back that old WCW title again.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know the sound of the WWE Universal title is freaking stupid.
It's horrible.
But
It's like call it the King of the Mountain title or something. It's terrible. Call it the Legends title. It's terrible. It's just like, what's wrong with just the Raw title?
It stinks.
yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I don't know who said that, but yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah.
So on hindsight, it sounds horrible, but it is a step up from trying to bring back something old again. So
yeah, I know. No, I agree with you.
And a completely fresh start, because when you're trying to bring back a title that's been on the shelf for over 10 years, and then you try to tie its lenience to it, it kind of devalues not only what the brand is then with the title, but everything that, for example, in my opinion, everything that WCW stood for.
Well, that shit
yeah.
a long time ago.
So now, it made no sense for them to try to bring that old title back. So something different, regardless of what it's called, I can run with.
No, I'm cool with the new title. I just okay, when Mick
What's more than world?
No, it's not only that, but it's like solar system. But when it's like,
you want the Galaxy title with like Groot and Rocket on each plate?
No, that's gonna be the women's title on the back. No, but see, here's the thing. When Mick Foley was on the stage and he was saying, we want to, it's all about the universe. It's all about you, and we want a title that represents the universe. And I was like, oh, I could start to see the seeds being planted. I said, don't call it the universe.
Sponsored by Rand McNally.
And we're gonna call it the universe title. I was like, oh, I threw up a little bit in my mouth.
I saw a GIF. Yeah,
disgusting.
But hey,
I think we'll get used to it eventually.
Yeah, they'll hypnotize us to it.
Yeah, the brainwashes.
The idea: 2 4-way matches. Mm-hmm. The winner of each 4-way match main events Raw. The winner of that match goes on to SummerSlam to face Raw's #1 pick, Seth Rollins.
I'm okay with this because it's not a handy. They're not repeating that mistake from last time, just handing someone a title.
Yeah, I understand it perfectly.
Yeah,
I like it. First match we had Finn Balor.
The debuting Finn Balor.
I was shocked at how many people did not know who Finn Balor was, because normally we've seen enough NXT takeovers where everybody goes, "Woo!" and like half the crowd was sitting on their hands like, what the fuck is this white guy doing?
Hell, dude, we were walking down the street one time and you had that thing playing, and by instinct, I put my arms up. I thought you're supposed to do that, right?
Balor.
You hate your country if you don't do that.
Balor, Rusev, Owens, Cesaro. That was your first fatal 4-way.
I knew right away Finn's winning this. There ain't no way. There ain't no way someone else is going to win this.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. Regardless, it was a great match.
Yeah,
it was just a gimme.
Dude, that toward the last 2 or 3 minutes of that, Finn doing those the way he bombs those drop kicks. Oh, and they look like they're just getting exploded out of a freaking cannon.
His sling blades were on point.
Yeah, he knew he was under pressure.
Yeah,
on that night, and he pulled through. No botches, no nothing. I mean, he looked solid. But regardless, you're saying you're surprised so many people didn't know him. There's a lot of people that was cheering, and there was a lot of people doing the thing, everything. So, good debut. He debuted right before that when they had the start of the show, when they had the whole roster out on the stage, and then they said Finn Balor, and he comes out, and he makes it.
The last guy announced.
Yeah,
number 8's Finn Balor, and he's not in the front. He walks like Daniel Bryan's like, hey guys.
Yeah. But that was a good match. That was a good solid match to start off the new Raw. Oh, real quick, we kind of glazed over. What do you think of the new theme, the new graphics, the new setup, the new everything?
I'm a pretty big, not a huge, but I'm a pretty big Shinedown fan. So the fact that they picked Enemies, I like it. I like the way the song.
Is that an older song?
Yeah, it's from their last album, not their new one.
Because I like Shinedown, but I don't.
There's a syncopated thing in their semi-chorus. It's catchy. I like it. I mean, it's a whole lot better than that rap ass song they had for the past 4 years. I hated that song.
Look, is it me real quick? Not to go off script or anything, but is it me? It seems like the last few years, WWE's been doing hip hop for like WrestleMania and all these other big shows.
For the
Well, what happened to The Rock? Like, can we get back to some Rock?
That's why
I want some Union Underground for my Raw theme song. How about that? Can we do that?
That's why I was giving them props the last couple of weeks, at least on the NXT side, because they had Baby Metal for the song for their last takeover for the end, and then Money in the Bank, the pre-match video for the ladder match had Black Honey from Thrice, which I'm a huge Thrice fan. So I'm glad that they're bringing a lot more of the Rock and not just doing all the hip hop. Like, dude, the SummerSlam concert they're having, it's all fucking hip hop and R&B. It's like, dude, I
Flow
want
it. What is with WWE and Flow Rider?
And Major Lazer. Pew, pew. I don't even know who the fuck that guy is.
But the good thing about that, it's its own separate thing, and it's not going to tie up time on the show.
Yeah,
keep that shit separate.
You thought Balor was an obvious winner in the first match.
Right.
The second match, Y2J, Chinchilla and all, Sheamus, Zayn, and Roman Reigns. Was Reigns the obvious pick, or after the night before, did you think, hey, you know what, maybe we could get somebody else?
I knew it was going to be Jericho. Who else was in it?
Sheamus and Sami Zayn.
I knew it was going to be Sheamus. So I kept it down to either Sami Zayn or Roman Reigns. I was like, I was thinking they're going to give it to Roman because Roman Reigns is your biggest guy on there, and Finn Balor is your most popular guy you had on the other one. So these two in a one-on-one match, that's going to be good. I mean, that's your obvious setup to see who's going to fight Seth Rollins. And sure enough,
yeah. The only bad part is, again, with WWE's track record, I only thought that a one-time thing was a one-time thing. I'm at a coffee house bumming the Wi-Fi because I don't have cable at home, and that's how I was watching Raw. And when I realized that the main event was Finn versus Roman, I had already assumed, all right, Roman's winning this. I'm going to get my friend a coffee, and we're going to just talk. And that I'm like glazed over this match. Like I was hearing it on one of my headphones.
So you thought Finn was
but
going to lose.
I was already under the impression, okay, we're going to get Roman versus Rollins. And I didn't realize that Finn winning the first match of the night was the crest of this huge ass tidal wave for literally this entire movement. Now we'll get to SmackDown in a bit, but I was completely blown off guard watching Finn hit the coup de grace on Roman and 1, 2, 3 clean.
Yeah,
it blew me. I was blown the fuck away.
Surprisingly,
yes, in a good and a bad way, because. In a good way that it happened to Finn, in a bad way that WWE has done enough mistakes, in my opinion, for me to have the opinion that this was just going to be another throwaway that Roman was going to win. And it sucks that I didn't watch it, basically, because I let my intuition get the best of me, I guess.
The whole match, I was thinking, okay, they could do Finn versus Rollins, but they have a better story with Reigns and Rollins. And I was going back and forth between who, because I couldn't think of it. I couldn't figure out where they're going. And Balor one is like, oh wow, okay, they are going with new. They are going with the new era, new everything. And Balor is literally the newest thing you have on Raw.
Yeah. He's a shiny new car on the driveway.
And Balor versus Rollins. That match is going to. I'm calling it right now. Match of the year.
There was a part. Here's what got me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys watching at home. There's a part that got me that made me tune out this match, and it was the part where Michael Cole on commentary said that Finn would scrub toilets in Japan just to have the opportunity to wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, WWE's stupid enough to give the title shot to a guy that just came back from a 30-day suspension instead of a kid that has busted his ass from day one to get to where he is today. WWE's that stupid that they're going to do it. And when I heard them say that, build up Finn Balor so well, I was like, I don't want to see this. Like, I don't want to get heartbroken when I saw it. So I was like, oh, man, I missed it. Fucking WWE.
They got you, bitch.
They got you. Yeah, they got you bad. Yeah.
So
Finn Rollins.
I'm already calling it match of the year. That's going to be a sick match.
You're already at 10 for the match?
Anticipation 10. Which in other people, that'd be like 100.
Yeah. So, Abel's like at a 467 Poo T X, whatever.
He hasn't watched Raw yet. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure he hasn't.
So, real quick about Raw. We talked about like the song and everything, but there's a few aesthetic changes. They moved the commentators table.
I noticed that.
Back to the ramp. Again, man, they're going. I kept saying I'm trying not to compare this to the old brand split, but that's what they did on the old brand split. They put Raw's.
But with the old brand split, they would still have the commentators with their backs to the stage, so that whenever they had the commentary, you still saw that Raw logo on the LED. When some of the angles that they had when the commentators were standing up and the ring was in the background, it felt like old school Raw. It felt like Superstars on Saturday morning.
Not even that. It felt like legit competition because you see that on the places where you're seeing what's behind them and not just the Raw stage.
Yeah.
And then 3 guys sitting in a booth.
Yeah.
I like it, and I hope they keep it up. I hope a lot of stuff that we've been seeing these past 2 nights, I hope some of this stuff keeps up.
And I'm glad they got rid of those fans that always sit ringside just to be behind the commentary table to go like this and do all these stupid signs and do like a selfie thingy on the background.
Like you.
Yeah, like I would if I would.
Yeah. So, and since we're talking about commentary, I want to say Corey Graves.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Whew, that I watched Raw live with no DVR or anything, and it didn't feel
At all.
It didn't feel
Up to
bad.
a main event for me for my own personal reasons.
Right.
But
the
I loved it.
commentating team was flawless. Well,
I hate to say this. I don't know if it was just the freshness, the difference, or a lot of Corey Graves. Corey Graves actually made Byron Saxton at least tolerable to me, where I wasn't complaining about him during the show. Like it went over. It was white noise to me because it was like, okay, it's cool. All right.
Yeah. Because Corey, like, he kind of blows them off.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like yell at him like JBL, and JBL was such
a low tone, smart ass remark, and that's all it takes. And you get your giggle, and then you move on.
Like there was one instance where they're talking, they're all standing up, and the camera's on them.
Yeah.
And Byron like did something, and Corey just kind of looked at the camera like what the fuck? Like that's all he did. That's all he had. Like he didn't oversell it or anything.
I might be jumping the gun, but from what I've gotten so far on him on NXT and his first night on Raw, I don't get the impression that Corey Graves is a guy that's going to be listening to everything that's being told to him in the headset. I think that's legit.
Well,
a lot of that, I think, is just him being hipster Corey Graves himself.
Here's the thing about that. It's funny you should say that. I was listening to the Taz show, and he was actually saying, that give it 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh no!
Before Vince starts really like
getting his foot in there.
Yeah.
All nice and deep.
He said, I guarantee you, right now, Vince is just letting him do his thing right now. Give him 3 or 4 weeks, and then you'll start micromanaging him.
Yeah. Triple H in NXT gives people enough confidence that he has enough confidence to let them just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that's not right, but wouldn't surprise me.
And then what else? We had a small set change. It was basically the same thing, but it was like an arch or arc, whatever, over the. It looked like it was forced placed there, like it wasn't necessary. Whatever. Everything's so blocked off, and then you have this arc.
Sasha is the new women's champ.
Oh yeah, by the way. We should probably mention that. We should probably start off with that. Sasha, yeah.
Match of the week had it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's probably one of the best women's wrestling matches I've seen from WWE's main product this year.
Sasha it was a good moment for Sasha. It was a good moment for the fans because it was.
Dude, her Eddie Guerrero tribute to get Dana Brooke out the fucking ring was gold. Gold.
Yeah. Just her selling too, like her waving to Dana. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was the damn good match. And this the ending. I don't know if you caught this, but there was I caught a little bit of callback to they had a little Mountain Dew moment, whatever, from WrestleMania whenever Ric Flair lost to Shawn Michaels, and the clip they showed was Shawn Michaels saying, "I'm sorry, I love you," and he kicked him. Cut to this match,
Charlotte.
She gets up and says, "You'll never beat me," and then she loses.
She loses like 5 seconds.
Was that a callback between the Flairs? Like that's,
I would say so.
Yeah. So
that's something. Well, it's different at least in the aspect that when Shawn did that to Flair, that's the end of their rivalry because Ric Flair was gone.
Right.
That could be something to really that right there of those two by themselves with Charlotte saying what she said. That's a foundation that could build a 5-year long on and off rivalry that you can just plug back in at any time like Cena Orton, and it's money.
Yeah. I think I told you this off air last week, but I was thinking now that we have rosters, we know who's where. One thing you could try to do to extend this feud out a little bit more and bring in some and help put over some more talent. They were all part of a group in NXT. It was Sasha Banks, it was Charlotte, and it was Summer Rae, the BFFs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they're all on Raw. You have the potential. You could do 3-ways. You could do whatever. You could maybe have Sasha face. Summer turn face. Maybe then her and
Charlotte.
Sasha versus Charlotte and Dana maybe.
Yeah.
But you have the potential there. You have the roster. You have pieces. You have pieces in play here.
Yeah.
You can do stuff. Hopefully they'll,
Do you think the same way about Finn and the club now that they're together?
That's a
Finn
wait and
is
see.
number 1 contender
I'm gonna wait and see on that. He's got so much momentum right now and so much face
on his
heat
own.
right now. It would be a mistake to do anything with the club right now.
Okay.
Wait till he loses, like the title, or something, or maybe after he wins the title and he's about to lose it,
Yeah.
and then the club helps him out and retains.
Yeah.
Then maybe we'll see. But I think getting to that spot, no, keep them separate, keep them as far away, because that was another thing got set up. New Day was celebrating the longest reigning
Tag champions of all the time.
They finally beat
Ever.
London and
Kendrick. Yeah.
beat Kendrick. And in their celebration club.
No jokes, no giggling, no let's beat up somebody.
Dude, I'm sorry, but that segment was bad. The whole fan. I'm using my quotations.
It tuned me out.
Yeah.
Really. That would have. There was half of that promo could have been easily cut.
Damn, yeah. That whole thing with the fan, the Sunny.
Once it got to Sonny, whatever the fuck that guy was, he had to go.
I'm sure there's a story behind it. I don't care to know.
Son came home. No, I don't care.
I don't care. I don't even know what you're doing. All right. So, was there anything else from Raw that we need to talk about?
Let's see. Strowman killed the Offspring fan.
You know what? I like that. I like the fact that they.
You're more of a Green Day guy?
Yeah. Because they're bringing back the enhancement talent, the jobbers, if you will.
There was a lot of that between Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And it's going to end the whole 50-50 even Steven booking. You have, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But, I'm glad they're bringing this back, this aspect. This is what's needed, what's been needed, and hopefully this will continue.
Tell me if we need this. Cass and Enzo against the Shining Stars.
No. I don't know what they see in Shining Stars. They had their chance and they blew it.
Do we need to see Nia Jax on Raw? She debuted, beat a local jobber also.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
See where they're going with her.
Okay.
Modestly curious about where they're going with it.
Okay. That's Raw in a nutshell. Then we move on to SmackDown.
Oh, boy.
Do you want to just turn the faucet up all the way and go? Because apparently he's got a huge ass rant he's going to share with us common folk.
Here's my thing. I was as good as Raw was. I even said, SmackDown, you better bring it. No pun intended. But I don't think they did. I think they kind of blew it.
Exhibit A is what?
Okay. Full picture here. First thing we see is Shane and Daniel Bryan
Backstage.
talking. And they're walking. And they're about to go. But one of the first things that one of them says is, it's not about us. It's about you, the fans, and the wrestlers.
That's when they walk out.
The first thing he says, it's not about us, people in charge. It's not about that. It's not about the authority. This is the first thing we see on this show about it not being about them. Cut to the end of the show. What's the last fucking thing we see?
Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon putting over the fact that we have a main event for SummerSlam. That the SmackDown has a main event for SummerSlam.
Right. Getting
Raising
all
up in the Kool-Aid.
That's the one thing I will say about Raw. Like Stephanie and Mick, they're at the beginning of it, and were they?
That was it. That was
another positive that made it feel so bad. Was
Roman putting over Finn after the match?
Oh, yeah, I didn't like that.
Oh, okay.
Well, no.
I thought that's what you meant.
No, the whole Roman thing. I think this should be the start of a heel turn for him. I know it's cliche to say, but he needs it. He needs a freaking heel turn. Ow, stat.
We've already jumped off the John Cena heel turn bus. We're dragging onto the Roman Reigns heel turn cart.
Yeah, we
That
are.
bitch is gonna get pulled quick.
Yep. So, Okay.
Yeah, we did not end Raw with Stephanie or McFoley. They were like, okay, bye.
But that's just one thing to nitpick on. But the other thing, the theme song, I didn't like the theme song.
For Rock, Shinedown was good. I don't know what this was.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. It was bad. I don't know who it was. I don't know. I don't care. It was bad. I don't like it. What else we got? Here's another thing. Overall, I think we asked this question last week on our show. Like, who won the draft, Raw or SmackDown? Now I'm gonna say Raw. Raw won the draft because when I see Raw, like the start of Raw and the whole roster's out there, that looks like a show. That looks like WWE. When I see that you can fit your whole roster around the ring on SmackDown, not only is it half the size of the other roster of Raw, half these guys, honestly, I hate to say it, I don't care about half the roster.
I'll take that point. Here's a rebuttal. Raw, you have a heel general manager the fans despise. A lot of the roster, storyline-wise, despise. And they're opposite. They're like at the other end of the arena. They're on the stage. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are in the ring, and all their wrestlers are surrounding them on the ring. And Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, whether you're a good guy or a bad guy or flirting that line in the middle, pansexual, you all get in the ring with them. If there was a war between Raw and SmackDown, SmackDown looks like their soldiers will defend them in anything they do, and the Raw soldiers will just leave first chance they get. I felt more solidarity with the whole SmackDown brand, regardless of talent levels of the collective. Yeah. They looked like a brand as opposed to just Raw being another episode from like 5 years ago. That's how I perceived it. Once we got past the whole Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon suck up to us because it's about y'all, and as long as y'all suck up to us, then it's still about y'all.
It does look like I'm really gonna hate saying this. It looked like a B-rate show with that roster.
It's honestly, with all the changes that SmackDown,
it's like a Thunder roster.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that for a while because you're still gonna have that mentality. Even me, I still have that mentality in the back of my mind that Raw's always been the A show and has been treated as the A show. Hell, even during the brand split, SmackDown did have the WWE World Heavyweight title, and it was still the B show. So you end the show with Dolph Ziggler becoming your #1 contender against Dean Ambrose. Does it feel like a B show pay-per-view main event match?
Yes.
I agree.
Ziggler, dude, what the?
I agree.
What the hell?
I appreciate the fact that Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are giving opportunity. I even like the fact that the last man in the six-pack challenge was going to be determined with a battle royal, so that everyone got a chance. Again, more solidarity within all that. Yeah. At the end of the day, even like I said before, I like the fact that they're kind of retooling Ziggler a bit. I just think that bun needed to be in the oven a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see Ziggler against Dean Ambrose headline a SmackDown only pay-per-view, but this is your first match, your first pay-per-view on one of the big four, potentially the big five, depending on how you treat Money in the Bank. And you want to have, honestly, me being greedy, I wanted Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, give it to me.
Yeah.
Even if Styles lost, AJ Styles co-main eventing SummerSlam for the WWE title with a guy that he can probably beat. Give it to me. Ziggler,
you have given me zero reasons to care about this guy for the past 2 years.
I suddenly don't. I showed y'all the picture. I'm going to Raw in August after SummerSlam. The next night in Dallas, San Antonio is going to be in Dallas. SmackDown's going to be there, and I wanted to buy a ticket. The cheapest seat's $20. Thanks to Ticketmaster with taxes, it's $39.75. And I was still going to bite the bullet and go because they've got guys I want to see. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose. They got a lot of guys there. And after watching this, I was like, this is going to take a while. This is really going to take a while. So I'm going to stick to my guns. Sticking to guns. We've ignored some people. Does anybody say anything?
Oh, they've said a lot.
Oh,
but
shit.
We've been on a roll, people.
Yeah.
Y'all are just in the groove, and I didn't want to like interrupt y'all and whatnot.
That's your job to interrupt us.
Okay, now you say it. Shit. But pretty much the consensus is since Ziggler is not your pick, who would you rather have in that challenge for Dean?
AJ.
Just AJ.
AJ, easy. Yeah.
That's
and the fact that he took the pinfall.
it's not it isn't so much my hard on for AJ. It's from a business aspect that if you make this much effort to bring a guy from New Japan and build him up on your roster, huge ass debut in the Royal Rumble, feuding him with WrestleMania with one of the most tenured guys in WWE and in wrestling, in Chris Jericho, having him in a great feud with Roman Reigns and giving him matches with John Cena. You're having him on the SmackDown brand. Why not give us AJ?
Yeah. It already feels, you know what it felt like? Seeing Ziggler win, it felt like a handout. Like we couldn't do it. We were just one show. You're not good enough for when we're just one solid brand. But now that we're split off and you have this little show over here,
that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Here you go. Have a title shot, Ziggler. You earned it. You didn't quit on us like these other people did. You stuck around.
I don't want to have this mentality, but it's so easy to say that they made this match to make it blatantly obvious that the main event in SummerSlam is Finn Balor against Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, if we had Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles and we had Seth Rollins against Finn Balor, how would you want SummerSlam to end?
Hold on. In this particular case, since you're crowning a new champion, I would go with Raw.
Okay. And that's not even mentioning the fact that up to this point we're still having Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar, and that could also be the end of the pay-per-view.
And here's the thing about that. The first pay-per-view after the brand split is the co-branded event. I kind of wish they timed it to where
after SummerSlam was the first Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Backlash, their first pay-per-view,
because
which is solid.
SmackDown's already saying Backlash in
September 11th.
Like what?
Pepperidge Farm members.
September? What the fuck? We're wrestling fans. We don't have attention spans.
I barely remember to watch NXT today.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. So.
Well, we spoke on it. Oh yeah.
Is there anybody else?
What?
You said there's quite a few things in there.
Let's see. Well, hold on, because apparently, like the chat exploded for a brief moment because there were.
Where are y'all in the beginning of the show when Porsche says y'all are asleep?
Yeah, she always makes fun of y'all in the beginning.
I don't make fun of people. That's y'all's job.
It's his job.
Okay, that's his job.
I do all the jobs.
You do a lot of jobs.
That's why my back hurts. I'm always doing the job.
Oh, but going back to the club versus Cena, Cass, and Enzo, wouldn't it be technically a rubber match for SummerSlam between Cena versus AJ? Since I think they've only had 2 matches.
They've had the one-on-one match at Money in the Bank, and then they had the 6-man tag when they were involved.
We talked about this last week. This feud, it feels like we've seen AJ and Cena more than once.
It doesn't help that I saw AJ versus Cena tear down the house at Madison Square Garden. That was fun as shit. I'm hoping. Well.
Oh, they were on the house show on the dark match on Raw.
Yeah.
They brought in Cena and AJ and Dean. And and Seth Rollins, they all had a tag team match. So, what else? What else we got? What are the people saying?
Look here.
I'm looking at both things because they're both going at the same time.
Get to the older stuff first.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, you already answered that question. Brian says, "Nice shirt, Travis."
I didn't see the movie yet.
Okay.
I've been hearing bad things about it. So.
So have I.
And I like the graphic novel so much that I don't know if I want to watch the movie.
Oh, and actually, Finn broke the birthday curse.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to get beaten. You're supposed to get jobbed as shit on your birthday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ziggler almost beat the curse too because it was like his birthday.
Today's his birthday today, actually. Yeah. Hey, Randy. What's up, Randy? Happy birthday. Ziggles and Triple H.
Oh yeah.
What else we got?
Let's see.
Anything from here?
No.
Okay.
Stop.
We mentioned it earlier. The Miz segment that led to a match with Randy Orton. Exhibit B.
No, by this point we're like C or D.
C or D. Okay.
You know what my Exhibit B is? The commentating team. As good as the Raw commentating team was, I don't know, man. Like JBL was bad enough, but with the Tonga there as a third wheel, like I could see like Mauro trying to eventually be able to play off JBL. Oh, okay. Eventually. Right now they're not there.
What's a Tonga's role?
He was literally like JBL and Mauro would start talking, and they were literally just turned to Otunga, and Otunga would throw in his 2 cents, and it meant nothing. Like you didn't have to have him there.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Otunga's a good speaker. Like he's good. I don't have a problem with him being on commentary, but a 3-man commentating team sometimes it doesn't work, man.
3 men for 3 hours, 2 men for 2 hours. Done. Was Exhibit C the boom camera that I praised last week? Because there were a couple people online on wrestling sites that complained that boom camera was making them a little bit nauseous.
You know what? It wasn't that one, but on Raw, I did notice a few good new camera angles. There was like a low one that was following under the bottom rope, and there was a new one that was swinging around. I liked it on Raw, but for some reason on SmackDown, it just felt
they relied too much on that swing one.
Yeah, something was off on SmackDown.
Somebody needs to bring back or utilize more the cameras on the turnbuckles.
They don't use them.
They don't. They use them for commercials or for like recaps, but they never like zoom into it during like a replay or even during a match. Like
I forgot that was a thing. Because I remember when they added
oddly enough, I saw them used in the commercials for the Cruiserweight Classic.
Really? Well, we kind of glossed over that earlier, but the Cruiserweights is actually going to be a division on Raw.
Specifically on it.
And the winner of the Classic is going to have a title.
Inaugural.
Yeah.
First time ever of the new Raw generation title champion.
So I'm digging it. Whatever. It's good. Yeah.
Anyway, Miz
Orton. That segment. Oh, good God Almighty. It was bad, dude. I was already getting tired of what I was seeing on SmackDown by this point.
You were probably frustrated too because you were telling me in between that you were having feed issues with your PlayStation Plus or whatever.
Yeah, the PlayStation View. That's how I get my game. It was buffering and it was. Yeah.
My view from SmackDown, I was having issues from jump with my computer, and then on top of that, I tried watching it on my phone, on mobile, and halfway through it, between the feed going dead and me going to sleep, I missed the last part. So I'm gonna take your word. I know what happened. I saw clips and everything, but I'm gonna take your word for it on the whole Miz debacle.
The Miz TV segment, it would have been fine if they hadn't done that gag before. Like they've done it before with he's interviewing himself. Even my wife, who's a casual watcher, she was watching. She's like, didn't they do this before?
Yeah. And
it went on a little bit too long. Then Orton came out. That kind of went on, and he was already like, he comes out, he picks up the microphone and he holds up in the air like he's already like they're already trying to capitalize on his little promo from Battleground.
Little pipe bomb.
Yeah, and I didn't care about the match. Like
my biggest gripe about this whole situation is that you can't have your Intercontinental Champion lose matches that don't go anywhere.
There you go.
Orton,
beat me to it. Yeah.
The Miz is not supposed to be Orton food for his match against Brock Lesnar. The Miz should be finding food for him to make his Intercontinental title run relevant.
Right.
And he can't be losing if it's not working. And we've been this isn't a knock towards the Miz, the character or the human, because we've been praising what he's been doing. Like it's just the booking. Like that. No.
Here's the thing, dude. He got an RKO out of nowhere, and then Orton just toyed with him, waited for him to get back up, and he RKO'd him again, and then pinned him. It was ridiculous. Maurice should have dragged him out, and then they got the count out, lost or whatever. Still keep that heat on him, but you just killed your IC title champ. Your main, no, not your main. You're one of two titles.
Your secondary champion.
Of two.
Yeah.
You have a primary and secondary. You got two. And you just jobbed him out like nothing. Like he was a jobber. It was bad. I don't know. I'm telling you, man, I had high hopes for SmackDown.
Let me try to bring you back up.
All right.
First impression when you see Shelton Benjamin on your television.
All right, now you got my attention.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I got to wait for that.
Yeah.
And then we saw American Alpha in action.
Not to brag, but I got my ass whipped by Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm proud of that.
So American Alpha, they're not there.
Oh, they're not there.
So next week.
They were around the ring when they're trying to put the match.
Yeah, so is Eva Marie. Which point?
Is that Exhibit E?
Yes.
What did you think when the whole segment ended with all the divas coming out? Oh, I'm sorry, women's wrestlers coming out.
You can call them divas at this point. Because I've got a feeling that's the new titles coming out for the women.
Bliss showed up. Naomi showed up.
Let's hold
Carmella showed up.
Let's back up for a second. Okay, because on the pay-per-view, we kind of didn't even mention it.
Natty pretty much beat the shit out of Becky Lynch.
She killed Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
On the pay-per-view. Now come to SmackDown.
Sprinkle some ginger dust, and here comes.
I like the end of the match. That was a good counter into the armbar or the whatever she calls it. What does she call
Disarmer.
it? Disarmer. Yeah. So she got the win on that one, and then from there, who's the first one to come out? Bliss. Bliss was the first one to come out.
Me likey.
I don't know if I was a fan of them all coming out. It felt forced. It felt like they're running out of time.
If anything, this should have been Miz TV.
Yeah, you're right, dude. Because listen, Bliss came out, she did her spiel.
Naomi
came out, and she's talking
like,
smack.
Bitch, you've been here for how long?
I was thinking,
Says the chick that's been there how long and has done what?
Exactly. I was thinking, Naomi's
Got
been
dumped by her
gone.
boyfriend on Total Divas for a
How
season.
long
and
has
then
she
got
been
back
gone, dude? She's been gone a long time. Unless she's on main event or Superstars. I haven't
Her
watched
shoes
that.
must have been made by Tesla and took that long to recharge.
So she was injured. Then she was on Marine 5. Then she just came back.
Oh, well, Marine 5. Well, there you go.
You're forgetting the most serious point, Travis. Black Lives Matter.
What?
I don't know, dude.
Then Carmella came out.
Carmella.
How you doing?
She didn't do the how you doing.
I know it's yeah.
She's keeping herself separate, so it's good. And then
I hear it was like an overdub, like there was like a narrator, like a Morgan Freeman, like building her up while she's walking to the ring.
there's a Hollywood announcer, pretty much, like a trailer guy, talking about how good she is. You can hype her up all you want. In the end, it's Eva Marie. I'm sorry. She was wearing her little robe. She was going back and forth. She started she looks good. I mean, we're guys, so yeah, we're gonna like that part of it. But I mean, Eva Marie, come on, dude. Seriously, don't make me boo this beautiful woman. You're gonna make me do that.
How many beautiful women have you booed in wrestling?
Oh, there's been a lot. There's attitude there. So. But the ones I booed before, they had talent.
Ooh. I'll leave it at that.
Brian Kendrick, oh, no, wait. No, you're going to say you live like that. I'm not the one that's been going online and putting memes of saying, Eva Marie drafted to Pornhub.
I didn't put that on there. I just liked it. And my dumb ass went straight to Pornhub and did an Eva Marie search and was severely disappointed.
No, you weren't. There's Pornhub.
No, because I found Candice Michelle, and apparently that was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. Left enough to the imagination for me to wonder.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, if you're stuck on a desert island, you only have to pick one person. Eva Marie or Dana Brooke?
Oh, what?
I would. Well, that depends with one accessory. You know, if I had a condom, I would probably do Dana Brooke. If I had duct tape, I'd probably have Eva Marie. You know, around the wrist and around the mouth, and I would duplicate her until I couldn't anymore. Until I was blasted.
Here's the thing, like Dana's just
stop showing me your cleavage.
Dana's voice just just nails on a chalkboard, and I don't find her attractive. Her voice sucks. She can't wrestle. So there's nothing redeeming about Dana Brooke whatsoever. I didn't want to talk about it, but you brought it up for some godforsaken reason. But so yeah, even
dude, if she could take it in the ass, I'm sure you'd change your mind.
Oh God!
I need a duct tape for that.
Duct tape for your eyes.
And for her mouth.
That pineapple banana leaf too. Oh. Oh, hey, wrestling. Hey, speaking of jokes, WWE signed Jinder Mahal.
Ah,
He's
Jinder Mahal.
and nobody cares.
Oh, here's another joke. Did you laugh when Heath Slater showed up on TV? He's being the hottest pick in WWE.
I don't know where they're going with this. Let me get your thoughts first. What do you think? What do you think they're going with that? And did you like this segment? There was a jobber in the ring, and he was about to have a match, and then Heath Slater jumped the rail. Whatever.
Interrupted is like, hey,
he beat him down. He got him a stick. And what do you think of the promo and Shane McMahon coming out?
One of Heath Slater's redeeming qualities is his humor. He's hilarious. He made three-man band work. He was redeeming in Social Outcasts. Him being by himself, pretending not to be the Wendy chick, was freaking hilarious. him being in the ring and cutting his promo, I was like, all right, there's actually, it's very subtle, but to me, WWE is slowly adding a little bit of stock to Heath Slater, slowly but surely, because they're giving him the opportunity to beat a jobber down, number one. He wasn't always the one that was getting beat up and squashed in the social outcasts. And for him to have mic time in the ring on a live show, kind of a big deal.
I'm going to stop at that.
All right, kill me. And he died to Rhino. Yes! Rhino corked him out of his shoes because he couldn't do it to Samoa Joe.
I don't even have to say it. You just that's there you go. That's the problem.
If they turn Heath Slater into this generation's Barry Horowitz, I'm down.
We're easily entertained.
He gets beat up by everybody, and then when you least expect it, he gets a win and goes like full on baby face that is like one of the most popular in the company.
Yeah. Honestly, I know he's like an internet darling at this point.
At this point, because you can only catch him on the network.
Oh,
yeah, no kidding, right? Like I've seen him on like Swerve and other shows like that. The guy himself,
the human being,
he seems like a cool guy. Like nothing against the guy.
I'd have a beer with him and go ho hop.
But like I don't get what the big deal about him is as a wrestler.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like he was trying to make a good case. Where I was almost getting there when he was talking about how he's a 3-time WWE champion or tag team champion, and he's all these different groups. But all these groups have been failures. Like Nexus, Core, 3-man band.
Fault to his. Nexus is hard because there was too many guys in that group for him to have focus. To an extent, maybe the Core too.
But he was never
three-man band was junk, and I think he led the way to make that at least entertaining. Social Outcast, he was not the anchor that held that group down. There's people, dude. The guy that just got released, he was a waste of space in that group, easily.
I already forgot his name.
Rose.
Oh, yes.
He was easily the worst one out of that group. Him trying to be the one-man band after the 3-man band separated and went to TNA. He was at least redeeming there. Like I did not change the channel when he was on there. If anything, it's not fault of his own. It's just the way they book him in the teams that he's in.
Yeah.
Again, if SmackDown's the brand where you're gonna make stuff stick and give guys opportunity, I'm curious to see what Heath Slater can do if he had a legit opportunity. And that's the only cautious optimism I have right now. I'm not gonna go any further than, oh my God, he's gonna be like the next big thing since like sliced bread.
I think he's just a too big comedy actor or comedy wrestler.
He's good at it.
He's good at it, but I mean, don't put him up there like trying to be serious.
That's true.
Porsche, you look like you were trying to say something for like 5 minutes.
I was like, only thing I could think of was like, wait, if Jinder Mahal is back, and Heath Slater is by his lonesome, they can 2-man band it.
No.
Just let them have their 2-man.
I'm sure they like to have a 2-man.
I'd prefer the white stripes. I'm sorry. Main event, 6-pack challenge. Let me run down the names. Bray Wyatt, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles, John Cena. We've already talked about who won the match. We talked about who took the pinfall. Were you at least entertained throughout this match since you were the only one out of the two of us?
Not especially. But by this point, I was already frustrated with everything on SmackDown, pretty much.
I think the only thing I liked in the beginning when they were making the announcement was that literally Bray Wyatt walking in the ring reminded me of Bray Wyatt from Camp WWE, a complete fucking outcast. Because he didn't fit in that group, yet he belonged in that group because he's the eater of worlds. And I would be afraid of him if he was in front of me in a buffet line.
Who do you think was, before you found out who was going to win, who do you think was going to win this match?
Well, I had my heart set on AJ, but I was oblivious to the whole that they were going to continue the AJ Cena thing because there was so many things that didn't come to fruition after Battleground that I was like, all right, we're starting over from scratch. Raw, fucking start over from scratch. Why not? Give me AJ Ambrose. That'll headline.
I was thinking, why not give it to Bray?
Really?
Why not?
They never did finish that feud, did they? Where Bray and Dean?
Apparently, there was some stuff with Ziggler and Dean, but I don't remember them having fights. Did they ever wrestle?
No.
Maybe when Dean was U.S. champ back in the day and was just dropping it on the floor for Seth
Maybe.
to pick it up.
Maybe. But anyway, I was thinking Bray, AJ, Ziggler was not on my radar to win this thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're doing that on purpose, just to so it's unpredictable. You never know what's it's a new era. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, we have Ziggler versus Ambrose for the title at SummerSlam. SummerSlam.
And it's 3 weeks away, by the way.
Ugh. You got 3 weeks to make Ziggler relevant.
Finn Balor against Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose against Dolph Ziggler, Brock Lesnar against Randy Orton. Those 3 matches alone. Does that scream SummerSlam to you?
The Brock Lesnar Randy Orton match does. The Raw title match does.
You mean the Universal title?
Fuck, it's Raw. You know what I mean. The red belt.
Don't make him say it.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Ryan asked, did the 6-pack challenge feel like a ripoff of Raw?
No.
No, well, yes and no. It felt like they wanted to do something. It felt like both shows needed to have normal contenders, but Raw did that, so they had to think of something else.
Here's where I'll give WWE credit on this angle. You're starting brand new brands from scratch. What better way to develop feuds by having multi-man matches to figure out who your number 1 contender is? That way you can spawn stuff off out of it. I didn't watch the 6-pack challenge, but if we're getting a revival of AJ versus Cena, it would have made sense to have AJ and Cena take each other out and beat the shit out of each other backstage or in the crowd. And that's fault of whoever booked it. Because matches like these, in hindsight, it's great to have, especially if you're going to have 2 on Raw, so that you can have feuds in between these matches to spawn off to do your lower and your mid card and actually build up your mid card contenders for your Intercontinental in the US. I like the idea. Some of the execution, Ziggler, for example, or how they handled it with AJ taking the pin, I'm not sure if I would have done it.
I will say,
dude,
AJ stole that super kick like $1 million. God damn, look at you just got shot. It looked beautiful. Oh, I'm sure made Ziggler proud.
Made you throw up in your mouth a little too?
A little bit.
That's it for the big machine that took up most of the show. Again,
do we have anything else from the peoples?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to their newcomers, Seth, a guy named The Drip. And
The Drip.
I hope there's a cure for that.
And also, hi, Daryl.
Hughes?
Yep.
Darul.
And they're very concerned that Evil was not here, by the way. There's one person very concerned.
Who's concerned?
Bobby was concerned.
Part of him had to do boyfriend duties because, again, today's Randy's birthday.
Let's be honest. He's in the basement. Remember that. We weren't supposed to say that. I don't know why I was like that. We'll make up the story. Go ahead.
Maybe he'll be here next week. We're not sure. Hell, you might tune in one day and we'll just become a brand new show called Foreign Objects and we'll just run with it.
Oh,
who knows?
You're still stuck on that, aren't you?
Hey, I like the idea. No, actually, we can do Card Subject to Change, which is me and you, and then we'll do a spin-off show called Foreign Objects with me and Scott, because neither of us are from here, and we'll just cover like the stuff from New Japan.
No, Card Subject to Change would be a rotating guest host.
Oh, really? We could use Brand right about now. Fuck.
Man, he is getting his.
But we've already got our black quota, so yeah.
Don't even see me.
Again, we got our black quota.
What else we got? Anything else? From
And also shout out to XL Too Tall.
We need names. We didn't know who you are.
That's his name.
Oh,
XL Too Tall.
Yes.
Sounds like a big guy.
If you're a midget, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Let's see. The only thing I can find on his page is that he's 6 feet 10 inches tall. So there you go.
Guy that tall must have really small toes.
Not jeez.
That's it, man. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
That's it. I'm tired.
I don't think I got anything.
Morris is already throwing in the towel. Thank God. And the pen.
I don't think I got anything.
Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, with that being said,
if you want to shower us with compliments, iTunes, Stitcher, leave thumbs up replies. If you hate us, we'll give you Abel's email directly. Bitch at him. He didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
That's a show.
That is a show. You can find all our past shows on HoustonWrestlingRadio.com. Follow us on social media, Facebook.com/HoustonWrestlingRadio, and also on Twitter.
Twitter and Instagram.
What's our thing over there?
Houston Wrestling Radio on Instagram, H Wrestling Radio on Twitter.
H Wrestling Radio on the Twitter machine. And also subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play Music. Got anything else?
Pop Culture Rewind. Give Pop Culture Rewind a little bit of love.
I wonder, did anybody say anything about our little things?
Daryl's very confused.
Yes!
Did it work?
It's like Daniel Tosh. If one guy in the room gets the joke, the fucking joke was worth it.
He was confused.
We got him anyway.
That's all part of the plan. Yes.
That's it.
That's it. Right? We're done.
Yeah. So who says the line?
Oh,
Can I do it?
no.
Can I do it?
no. What does he say? Like, I never pay attention to the guy.
He's like,
Keep it classy.
go fuck yourself. Dad
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's what he says, right? Yeah. That's his thing, right?
In the sheets, they call me Papa Grande.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Toodles.
Bye.
Puppy culture.
Oh,
We're really sorry.
oh, jeez.
No, we're not.
Fuck no.
Suckers. Keep it quiet.
Bye. That's the show, man.
Yep.
Is that the part where I hit stop? Right here?
Well-
Right here?
Well, thanks for coming out, y'all. Appreciate it.
Nah. Hold on. Look, Abel gives me a lot of shit, and you actually have given me a lot of shit before.
Yeah.
You guys that are watching and listening could have been doing anything in the world, and you chose to be with us. We appreciate that.
Yes, we do. Thank you very
Just
much.
know that so you're in on the joke, so don't take it so fucking serious. All right? That's how we get along. Just imagine if we were at the bar, we'd be just like this. He'd hate everything. I'd be shit-faced. Portia be rubbing a rack on everything. Abel would be looking for food. That's what we do. But if you like it, thank you. And if you don't, we'll try again next week.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.